I am going to try and win the World Cup with England. However, I'm going to try and do it without none of their current squad. That's right, I have picked a full squad of players that were rejected from the England playing this 2026 World Cup, including Harry Maguire, Phil Foden and Cole Palmer. And the press are already on my back about dropping the likes of Harry Kane, and I am really poking the bear. Because I believe in these guys, and I think we can go all the way. I'm even stripping Harry Kane of the captaincy and giving it to Harry Maguire. Now England find themselves in Group L of the World Cup with Croatia, Ghana and Panama. So I still think we should be able to easily breeze our way through this group. But other nations in this competition scare me, and I want to make sure that we deserve this win. Therefore, I'm not going to count the World Cup winners as winners unless we actually beat France, Spain or Brazil along the way. That's if we actually manage to win the World Cup. And so with my squad selected at the expense of some of the best players in the world, let's prepare ourselves for this tournament. Friendlies have gone rather well in this preparation as we started off with a preliminary squad which included a lot more unpicked players and with a win over Morocco. But once we narrowed it down to our final squads, we then took on Brazil and won 2-1 as well. And that was basically adopting a very attacking two-striker formation that drops into a 4-3-3. And if this somehow stays unchanged and manages to win these rejected England players to World Cup, I'll make it available on Patreon or the YouTube channel members. For now, we look towards our first fixture though, and it's a big one against Croatia. Arguably the toughest match in our group, but I still expect our lads to get the job done here in Dallas. Now, it's been a really quiet half so far, but I do think, it's only 13 minutes into the game, I do think our team tends to take a little bit longer to get into. The two friendlies, we didn't score until late into the second half. In the Brazil game, we even went to 1-1 before we really started actually playing quite well. Oh my God, Aaron Ramsdale were a fantastic save. But the key figure so far in the friendlies has been Danny Welbeck. He has got 2 assists in the Morocco game, a goal against Brazil. That man is coming into the tournament on form. And he should have been on the plane. Damn it, Thomas Tuchel, because he has been easily the best English striker in the Premier League this season. Either way, this highlight is going on for a while. I tend to think that Croatia might get a second bite of the cherry here. There's a ball back to Modric. It's blocked. Kramaric puts it in. Oh dear, our England rejects are 1-0 down in the first game of the World Cup. Thanks to, let's face it, not a great Croatian side. They were much better 4 years ago and 8 years ago. They're not exactly in their prime years, but the deflection bounces off. Harry Maguire or Branthwaite? I think it might be Branthwaite. Yeah, right into the path of Kramaric. How do we respond though? That's the most important thing for me. How do these rejects respond to rejection or going to go down? That's the main thing there. I've tried to keep a fairly balanced squad. Lewis Hall is decent. We've got, oh my God, Lewis Hall. Oh, we've got Trent on the other side who can play there, but he was injured in the friendlies, so I've stuck with Rico Lewis. He was good in the friendlies for the time being. But that midfield, I think dropping Foden into more of a centre midfield slot is a good idea. We've still got Cole Palmer out on the right, who can be really dangerous cutting in on his left-hand side. So we'll see. Harry Maguire there. Alex Scott, I think, is an exciting little addition to this side. Somebody who gives legs to that midfield. There's Cole Palmer. Oh, that should be a goal. Liam Delap has just missed a sitter. Some would say Liam Delap's been missing sitters all season. I understand it. We've got the likes of Jared Bowen on the bench. We could also bring on somebody like Ngamoa, which I thought I just had to bring on. There was other better players on Football Manager 26. I just had to bring Rio with me because I thought every now and then you just need to bring that youngster. Oh my God, that was 2. That can learn something from a World Cup. Rio Ngamoa is that guy for this one. There I was bragging about how good the tactic's been. We are 1-0 down here in Dallas in our first game at halftime. We've had some good opportunities. Lewis Hall with the best one. Actually, no, Liam Delap with the best one. But we do find ourselves in a spot of bother here. We need to pull this back. We can't afford to drop points in our first game. All right, free kick in a dangerous area, and Cole Palmer stepping over the ball. Here we go. Little bit too far out maybe to shoot. Doesn't stop him though. It's close. It would have got me off my seat for sure. Didn't exactly trouble the goalkeeper though. One thing I am noticing, our strikers are playing so poorly, which is annoying because Danny Welbeck comes into this on hot form, as I mentioned. And he has not really had a touch that we have seen. There he is chasing the ball now. Works hard though, Danny Welbeck. I'm a big fan of him, I must admit. Perisic to Pasalic. There's another ball, and they've hit the post, and somehow Lewis Hall has put that out for a corner. Once again, we are riding our luck here. All right, last opportunity before I make some big changes, or else I feel like they need to happen. Come on, let's get ourselves back into the game here. Harry Maguire. I like that we're still being patient. We're not trying to rush it. Branthwaite plays out to Lewis Hall. There's a nice little run from Danny Welbeck. Cuts inside. Oh, it's a great save from Livakovic. First attempt on goal for Danny Welbeck. All right, I'm going with experience over the youngsters coming on like Rio right now, because Jared Bowen's coming on, Curtis Jones is coming on, and Trent also coming on at right wing back. So we need something to happen soon, or else I'm really going to have to chuck somebody else on and try and get something going here. All right, Jared Bowen on the ball, number 20. He's got the ball quite deep, but Luka Modric takes it off of him so easy. The Croatian captain, 40 years old now. His last World Cup. He's going to want to win it. Jared Bowen, Phil Foden. There we go. Oh, yes, Phil. On the outside. Oh, plays the ball straight across and nobody's there. Something that, ironically, when he played there in the last tournament on left wing, he didn't do. I'm pushing everybody forward now. I mean, Gibbs-White is going up there. I need to change Danny Welbeck. Pochero's good, but not when they are literally the lone striker. Rio is on. I'm pushing Trent forward. Morgan Gibbs-White on for Phil Foden. Come on. Last roll of the dice in this final game in Dallas. Trying to make something happen now. We have one last opportunity in the final minute to save our blushes, to stop the media from coming after me asking what the hell is Omega Luke doing, taking all of these rejected players. There's Morgan Gibbs-White. Come on, save us. Rio plays it in. Jared Bowen to Curtis Jones. They've hit the bar. They've hit the crossbar. And that is going to be it. And I just know the press are going to be absolutely loving this as we lose our first game against Croatia. And they were right out of the gate, questioning the decision to keep Welbeck on the pitch, while also slamming me in the papers the next day too. I had to make this right in our next fixture against Ghana, who had lost themselves against Panama in the opening fixture 2-1. I also made 2 changes, bringing in Bowen and Trent into the lineup, but stuck with the system for now, hoping we see something different. Because if we didn't, we would have to rely on a massive final game win to qualify in second, or even at best third place, which would be embarrassing for England. And things didn't start great when Caleb Urenki then gave Ghanaians the lead after just 10 minutes. And my England side took so long to find our feet in the game, it wasn't until injury time of the first half when Trent finally assisted Cole Palmer to score our first goal of the tournament. However, with just a couple of minutes remaining in the second half... Oh, come on. One last attack. Please. Luke Shaw. First time on the pitch for him. Cole Palmer, he saved the day. He saved our group. Thank God for Cole Palmer. We weren't out of the woods yet as Croatia defeated Panama, meaning we needed to beat them to qualify, and to top the group, we need Croatia to also lose to Ghana. Just 2 changes as Lewis Dunk comes in for Branthwaite, and Alex Scott is back in the starting 11 replacing Curtis Jones. The fate of the tournament now rests in our final fixture, where I don't think we are likely to win the group either. Something unthinkable at the start of the World Cup, but very much a reality now. And in a very underwhelming fashion, we finally took the lead just before half-time, thanks again to Cole Palmer. And it was also his free kick in the second half which started off as finally getting our second of the game to tie the game up and confirm our qualification when Bowen's shot flew in. But was that good enough for top spot or just second place? Well, unfortunately for us, Croatia saved their best game of the tournament so far for this final game against Ghana, as they swept them 4-0, sealing top spot. So we qualify second in Group L, while Panama still qualify too. Good for them. However, our destiny is now to play the runners-up of Group K, which is Portugal. And I think I might need to change the system. I decided to try something I've never tried before, a narrow 4-2-3-1 utilising our fantastic number 10s. This Portuguese side, much like the Argentinians as well, are the other 2 sides in this tournament outside of the 3 favourites I mentioned earlier that I'm kind of concerned with facing, so this is a bit of a big test and a lot earlier than I expected. Can we keep Cristiano Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes quiet, or will we be taking an early exit? Well, the first opportunity came within just 3 minutes, and from a very unlikely source too, as Morgan Gibbs-White and Curtis Jones combined down the right-hand side to open up the scoring immediately. A fantastic start playing our new system, and a great finish from our centre midfielder arriving late for the cutback. Almost from kickoff, and a second chance when a long ball found the run of Palmer, and his shot was just tipped around the post by Costa. A corner to Portugal, however, and when the ball wasn't cleared properly, a second opportunity fell to Bruno Fernandes, who also got the best out of a stretch in Ramsdale. And he continued to make the difference in this match, denying Rafael Leao soon after. Both goalkeepers were the stars of the show, keeping the scoreline down as Costa stopped Delap's first tournament goal. Something he then did multiple times when it looked easier to score for Liam Delap. However, off the back of that save, the corner that followed produced a shot that finally the Portuguese keeper couldn't prevent, and Foden made it 2-0. Still in the first half though, and Portugal weren't out of the match yet, as Mateus Nunes popped up with a surprising shot to make it 2-1. And upon review of the replay, he added a bit of Portuguese flair in there as well, which even I appreciated and applauded. Second half, and with an optimistic ball down the right hand side which fell to Gibbs-White, it finally happens for Liam Delap, who gets his goal in Welbeck's absence, and it's 3-1 England. This gave us a chance to rest a few of the knocks and allowed some appearances for people like Ethan Nwaneri to show what he's got. However, I might be regretting that, as Cristiano Ronaldo rolled back the years smashing in a belter. This made it very nervy all the way till the end, but we held on. And in a bizarre set of results, we now face Algeria in the round of 16 after they defeated Uruguay 3-1. But you might have also noticed the problem. Argentina beat Spain in the second round 2-0, meaning Spain never made it out of the round of 16. And Germany just smashed France 4-0 in the earlier fixture during the round of 16 matches, meaning they are also out of the tournament. Now, Brazil are still in the competition and have just qualified for the quarterfinals after knocking out Switzerland. But they are the last team out of the 3 that the bookies selected would be the favourites alongside England. The ones that I said I would need to defeat to really lift the trophy with some dignity. With Morgan Gibbs-White injury, we made 2 changes, bringing Welbeck back into the side and giving Nwaneri a start in a World Cup match against Algeria, who actually have Zinedine Zidane's son Luka in goal, funny enough. But I don't know whether this is us finding our groove with the system or our opponents just not being able to continue their great overachieving run. But this was our best performance yet, and despite going 1-1 after just 19 minutes, the game opened up where Cole Palmer scored a hat-trick in a 4-1 victory. A great win nevertheless, but we can hopefully use the momentum from there, as we now have Belgium in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Brazil are thankfully still in the World Cup for now. We remain unchanged as Gibbs-White still recovers, as we face a Belgian side who line up in a 4-3-3, with Lois Openda up front and not Lukaku, who I expected to see. The first half hour of the match was quiet, but it was our England lads who created the first big opportunity, where Danny Welbeck's shot was blocked. This was a warning sign, because when our attacking midfielders finally got on the ball, they found the perfect run from Welbeck, who slotted home the opener. Or is it? Because upon review of the replay, you can see that Welbeck was in fact onside, and it was a cracking finish too. However, after all of that, Belgium from kickoff finds space down the left hand side. Kevin De Bruyne tries to be cheeky, and it drops to Lois Openda, who doesn't make a mistake in finding the equaliser. It was the same Openda who then probably should have given Belgium the lead just before half time from a header, which he sent over the bar. Yuri Tielemans started the second half trying his luck and forcing a save out of Ramsdale, and the Belgian attacks just kept coming as they then rattled the crossbar from a corner that wasn't clear correctly. With 5 subs coming on and a slight tweak to the system, the clock was running down and the referee blew his whistle to signal extra time. A tense moment for our survival in this tournament, but it's not over yet. Then a lifeline as Malik Fofana from kickoff hacks down Rico Lewis, and the referee makes a big decision to give him a straight red card, and Belgium are down to 10 men. England are awarded a free kick and Cole Palmer stands over it, but is unable to change the scoreline, and it's still 1-1. In the second half though, we finally made the most of our man advantage, as the pressure was too much for Belgium and Cole Palmer's shot flies into Courtois' net. With Belgium needing a goal, we could then exploit the extra man more, and Luke Shaw's run down the left hand side was another post being smashed, and it's still 2-1. And as the final minutes fell, we held on to the win, meaning we join Argentina, Croatia and Brazil in the semi-final. And we finally have an opportunity at completing the one stipulation I made for winning this World Cup, and it actually counting. because to reach the final, we have to defeat Brazil. Of course, we defeated Brazil in the friendlies leading up to the World Cup, but it's different defeating them in the World Cup semi-final, and with a couple of changes to the lineup. Again, it was a slow start, with neither team making any chances until a set piece was cleared, and where the ball was sent back into the danger zone. Alex Scott found the run of Cole Palmer, who put England into the lead. Immediately from kickoff, Brazil are on the attack, and when Vinicius Jr. receives the ball, Rico Lewis brings him down and it's a foul. But is it inside or out of the box? Well, the VAR check confirms that the referee's decision of no penalty is actually wrong, and it was in fact inside the box. And after treatment of Vinicius Jr. and Rico Lewis is booked, Casemiro steps over the spot kick and Ramsdale saves. Brazil free kick and it's swung in by Rafinha, nodded down by Gabriel, and it's smashed in by Cunha. But it's another VAR check and there could be an offside or a foul, which is not found, and it's a goal, and it's 1-1 going into extra time. Second half, and Brazil begin to pressure our goal once again, and it's time after time Vinicius Jr. whose shot is saved and tipped over by Ramsdale. After relentless Brazil possession, we finally got hold of the ball in the second half, but this time it was Brazil who were playing more direct. Again, another counter from Brazil, and Branthwaite throws himself into a tackle and is given a straight red card. Even while down to 10 men though, we still had the last chance of the 90 minutes as Rio, Bowen and Cole Palmer combined as Bowen's shot is flashed wide of the mark. And it's extra time again for England at this World Cup. First opportunity of extra time was Brazil again as they let another huge chance go a waste. Soon after though, it was one chance too many given for England as Vinicius Jr. found space and scored to send Brazil into the lead. I switched things around, pressurising high up the pitch in a high press, and it started to make a slight difference right before half time. However, we needed one last big opportunity, and it was still all Brazil as they peppered Ramsdale's goal from range with efforts as we tried to hold on. But there was one chance left as Jared Bowen stole the ball off the Brazilian defender only to find the wrong side of the post. And we were out of the World Cup. Somehow Croatia smashed Argentina 4-1 in the other semi-final. Argentina then beat us 2-0 and Messi scored a penalty in the third place playoff. And as for the final between Croatia and Brazil, Brazil absolutely destroyed their Croatian opponents 4-0 with all 4 goals in the first half. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry I couldn't win this, but why not see if I can win the World Cup with the worst ranked nation, Curacao, instead?